Hi, I'm Cheryl. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the card base for this card. You see I've got a really nice gilded background on it. If you want to see how to do the bird and the this little tag part, you'll have to watch the second video. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do this background. So what we're going to need, let's see, let me put that aside here. We're going to need, I'm going to have a couple pieces of Whisper White, and this is 5.5 and 4 1/4 each. I die cut this, I don't know, overlay, I guess you'd call it, already, and I have one of my assistants coming to help. And I used a Darice embossing. They call it embossing essentials, but they're die cuts actually. And I'll put down below what the name of this die that I used is. And then I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and then it's scored at 5 1/2. So let's get going on this. Let me introduce you to my little buddy here, and then I'm putting her out of the room. This is my recent adoptee. This is Bonnie, and she is like a little she-devil. She is into everything, and she has just got to go. So goodbye, Bonnie. Out you go. I just had her and her sister spayed on Wednesday, and you would never know it. They are just balls of energy. Okay, so I already cut that out. I can put this aside somewhere and out of the way. And we have our Gilding Flakes. These I'm using the tonic Nuvo Gilding Flakes. A lot of people make these. Different people make these Gilding Flakes, but this is what I'm using. And I have a little kind of scratchy sponge. You'll need that. I have another sponge here. We'll be using that to apply Tombow glue in one of the techniques. And then I also have a roll of double stick tape here that's 2 inches wide. And I got something stuck on there. And then I have my scraps of my Gilding Flakes too. It's a mix of gold and silver and copper. I'm using that in the background. We're just going to have a little bit of that, and then mostly the copper color. Okay, so for the first technique, get one of your pieces of Whisper White cardstock out here, and put a good amount of Tombow glue down on it. Take your sponge, and I found it works best if your sponge is slightly damp, just slightly damp. And we're just going to sponge that. You want to make sure your paper's all covered with this Tombow glue. Totally covered. Sponge that all over. Get it covered real well. And I'm just going to throw this sponge away because I have a lot more of them. But if you want to keep your sponge, now would be the time to get up right away and wash it. Because if it dries, it's just going to be a sticky sponge. So this will have to get set aside to dry. So I'm going to just put that off to the side here and clean my table up because I don't need that Tombow glue on there. Oh, where's my spray bottle? There it is. There we go. And I'll wipe that up with a paper towel. Get that all off the table. Earlier today, I already did one, and I have it dried. You want to make sure it is totally dry. And I also want to point out that before you open your Gilding Flakes, make sure you have all your fans off, and that you're working in an area where you don't have any heating or cooling ducts blowing. If you feel the need to sneeze, do not sneeze in the direction of your Gilding Flakes, or even Don't even say words like that have like a, where you blow air out like, you know. So just warning you, these gilding flakes are super lightweight. So there's my bit here. I have some nice little black cat hairs glued in there too from my assistant that I've just evicted. I'm going to take some of my scraps first, and I'm just going to get a little pinch of those and just sprinkle a little bit of my little scraps on my, I should be doing this on a piece of scrap paper. Let me get that scrap paper out here. I had it sitting here. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I've got just a little sprinkling of my multicolored gilding flakes on there. And now I'm going to go with my copper ones. And these are just, this, you see this is just like a wad of them. And there's just like tons of them in this, well, not tons because they're super lightweight, but you know what I mean. There's just a whole lot of them in there, and you have to kind of pick them up. If you get a little clump of them like that, you just need to pick it apart. And we'll get that all over our paper here. And so these copper ones will stick anywhere that our multicolored ones did not stick. But you want to get that whole piece of paper covered. I need some more out here. All right, I think I got it. I got it pretty good. I'm going to keep these out, but I'm going to put the lid on this. Because who knows, I might have the urge to sneeze. I don't want everything flying all over the place. Now I'll take my little sponge. I'm just going to rub this all over. That gets off any excess gilding flakes. So this is technique number 1 that you can do. And then you just rub that with your finger, and that makes it, kind of smooths it all down, makes it super shiny. Okay, so there's the one that we use, the Tombow glue. I'm not sure how well you can see this because it's so reflective, but it's just very, very cool, very pretty. Okay, the second way to do this is going to be fun. Let me just fold this up because I'm using my sticky tape, and I really don't want gilding flakes all over my sticky tape edges. But I have a funny feeling I'm going to end up with some. So let me get my other piece of my Whisper White out here. I'm going to cut myself a couple pieces of my double-sided sticky tape. And we want these to be just a little bit bigger. We want 3 of these. And we want them a little bit longer than our paper. And I'm just winging it, trying to go fast here, so I hope I got them. I hope I got them long enough. Yes, I did. Okay, good. Good deal. So the first one I'm going to lay down right in the center. the paper and make it as straight as you can. Now the downside of doing it this way with the sticky tape is that you do see a seam line where they join up. Okay, now I'm putting the next piece down, and I found the best way to do this is to turn this up on edge, like so, and get that lined up. You want this butted right up against the first piece. And this is kind of fiddly to do. This is how I did my card. And then I thought, you know, maybe there's a better way. So I tried the Tombow one. Tried doing it with the Tombow, and that works good. It's got a slightly different look to it, though. The one with the Tombow, because it's sponged out, it has almost kind of a hammered look to it. Okay, there we go. Now I'll get my nasty scissors. I have a pair that I keep just for doing sticky stuff like this. And I trim that all off. I turned it over. I'm trimming this away. So that it's even with the edge of my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of Whisper White here. You don't have to use Whisper White if you don't want to, because it's going to be covered totally anyway. If you've got some other color cardstock that you'd like to use up, and you don't know what to do with it, maybe you don't like the color, maybe you got something and you thought you liked it and then decided later you didn't like the color, well, you could use that because it's going to be totally covered anyway. You're not going to see this. Sticky mess. So, geez, guys, it's almost time to start thinking about Christmas cards. Can you believe it? Where did the year go? I got some stamps that's, I've got to sit myself down and start creating with them. I got, Carols of Christmas, and a couple other ones I like the sentiments in. So, okay, so we've got that cut finally. I know it felt like it took forever, didn't it? It did to me too. Alright, and I just burnished that down real well. So it's all stuck down real good, and there's no air bubbles or anything. Now we'll peel off that backing. I got some of my paper that time. There we go. Now let me try this side. I don't remember having this problem when I was making my original card. I'm trying to peel this backing off without peeling my paper up. There we go. I think I got this corner. There. Yep, I got it now. Okay. There. Now we got our nice sticky surface to work on. I'll bring out my scrap paper here again. And do my little sprinkle of my multicolors here. Get some over here. There, I think that's enough. I'll put the lid on this. now I can start putting my copper on here. I hate to waste anything. If you watch my videos, you know that. I give you like the smallest size paper you can cut things out of when you need to cut things out. Okay. Enough playing around with that. Let me get some flakes out in here. You get a lot of these in these little containers. Yeah, there's another clump. Okay, there we go. That should, hopefully that will be enough to cover. Let me close this up. And I think I got that pretty well covered now. I'll just see if there's anything that I need to pick up from the scrap paper. And where'd my little sponge thing get to? I seem to have lost my little sponge thing. Ah, now what the heck? Let me see if I have another bit of sponge I can use. I'll use one of these. And there we go. I'll furnish it with that. Yeah, that works good. Okay, so now we know these work just fine to do this. These are those, the round, I think they call them stamping sponges. I cut mine into quarters. They come in a round sponge. Okay, there we go. So that's the second technique. The downside to this technique is, let me show you. Let's get that right. Okay, you can see very faintly. You see the line? Maybe you can't. But there's a very, very light line where the tape connects. Okay, so all of this mess here goes into my scrap bucket for my gilding flakes, and I'll use all of this some other time. I don't want to waste it, and I really made a mess here. Okay, so now we can take we'll get our card base here, and some Tombow glue, and this little bit here, and I think I'll use, on this one, I think I'll do the one that I used the Tombow on. Clean that back up a little bit. There's some little bits and things sticking off the edge. I want those cleaned up. So, use my Tombow glue and attach this to my card front. There we go. That's all lined up real nice. And now I'll attach my little decorative framework here. I'm just going to put the Tombow around the outside here. I'm going to leave all that grid work, I'm going to leave that loose. And line that up on here. I find if you stand it up like this, it helps you to align. And there we go. So now we have our background on our card base all ready to go. And you can use anything you like on something like this. Flowers or whatever, or just a big sentiment on it. But if you'd like to see how I did the bird and how I did the little bird and the little tag on here, then you can see that in the second video. I do a little something different when I pop up the bird and the tree branch, so it's something that maybe you'd like to take a look at. So if there's anything that you've seen today, Stampin' Up! Products, then you can purchase those either through my Facebook page or my website. I really didn't use too much. The papers, the Whisper White and then the black for this, and the Tombow and the sponge. But yeah, if there's anything you'd like to purchase, then you could do that either through the Facebook page or the website. And if you liked my video, then hit like. If you'd like to see more of them, hit subscribe. And YouTube will point out my videos as I post new ones. And as always, I'll list the materials and things down below there that I used today in this video. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.